Alright, so everyone paints Australia as this sun-kissed paradise, right? Beaches, kangaroos, good vibes, and yeah, a lot of it is. But what if I told you that some of the most hyped, most iconic, or even most remote spots are places you might actually want to skip? Or at least go into with your eyes wide open, knowing the full story. It's not about being negative, it's about being smart. It's about making sure your adventure doesn't turn into a nightmare, or worse, a headline. This isn't your typical top 10 beaches video. Nah, we're going deeper. Today, I'm your mate, Travel Tids, and I'm pulling back the curtain on 5 Australian locations that, while undeniably unique, pack some serious challenges. So, buckle up. 5 Australian spots that might just be better left off your itinerary, or at least approached with extreme caution. Okay, first up, let's talk about a place that literally inspired a horror movie, Wolf Creek Crater. Now, the name alone should give you a pause, right? And it's not just Hollywood hype, this place is seriously out there. We're talking deep in the Western Australian outback, hundreds of kilometers from anything resembling a major town. The isolation is profound. The crater itself is undeniably impressive, a massive meteorite impact site. Geologically, it's fascinating. But getting there? That's an adventure in itself, and not always the fun kind. Think corrugated dirt roads, extreme temperatures, and the constant nagging thought of what happens if your vehicle breaks down. Because out here, help isn't just a phone call away. Even if you haven't seen the movie, there's an undeniable eeriness to Wolf Creek. The vast, empty landscape, the silence, the sheer remoteness. It can play tricks on your mind. Dehydration, heat stroke, vehicle failure, these are the actual threats. So if you're thinking of ticking Wolf Creek Crater off your list, you need to be more than just a tourist. You need to be an experienced outback traveler. The legend is cool, the geology is interesting, but the risks for the average traveler just don't stack up. Next on the list, Coober Pedy, the opal capital of the world, the town where people live underground. Sounds cool, right? And it is, in a very specific, very quirky way. But let me tell you, quirky can quickly turn into challenging if you're not prepared for what this place truly entails. The first thing that hits you about Coober Pedy, especially if you visit in summer, is the heat. And I'm not talking about a warm, sunny day. I'm talking about brutal, relentless, oven-like heat that can easily top 45 degrees Celsius, sometimes even 50. This is why people started living underground in dugouts. It was a matter of survival. The landscape around Coober Pedy is stark, almost lunar. It's been turned upside down by decades of opal mining, leaving behind a pockmarked terrain of mullock heaps and abandoned shafts. It's incredibly easy to get disoriented, and a wrong step could literally mean falling into an unmarked mine shaft. Then there's the isolation. Coober Pedy is a long, long way from anywhere else. It's a tiny speck in the vastness of the South Australian outback. While it has a unique community spirit, it's not a place with a lot of external support readily available. The dust is another factor. It gets into everything. If you have respiratory issues, this can be a real problem. It's a place that tests you. Chapter 3. Cape York Peninsula, beauty that bites back. Alright, let's head north, way north, to the Cape York Peninsula. This place, man, it's the definition of rugged wild beauty. It's that pointy bit at the very top of Queensland, stretching towards Papua New Guinea. It's got pristine rainforests, untouched beaches, incredible fishing, and a real sense of being at the edge of the world. Sounds like paradise, and in many ways it is. But this paradise has teeth, and it demands serious preparation. The first thing you gotta understand about Cape York is its remoteness. We're talking about one of the largest unspoiled wilderness areas left on the planet. That means limited infrastructure. Roads, mostly unsealed, corrugated, and often impassable during the wet season. We're talking river crossings that can swallow vehicles whole if you don't know what you're doing. Then there's the access to emergency services. It's sparse, to put it mildly. If you get into trouble, whether it's a vehicle breakdown, a medical emergency, or a snake bite, help can be hours, sometimes days away. The terrain itself is a challenge. It's not just the rough roads. There are dense forests, crocodile-infested rivers, and a climate that can be incredibly humid and hot. Dehydration and heat exhaustion are constant threats. Is it a place to avoid? For the casual tourist, probably. Chapter 4. Snowy Mountains. Not always a winter wonderland. Now, let's shift gears from the tropical north and the arid outback to the alpine regions, the Snowy Mountains. Home to Australia's highest peak, Mount Kosciuszko, stunning vistas and popular ski resorts. It sounds majestic, and it truly is. But don't let the holiday destination vibe fool you. This environment can be incredibly treacherous. The biggest factor here is the weather. Alpine weather is notoriously fickle. It can change in an instant from sunny to a blizzard. Temperatures can plummet unexpectedly, and hypothermia is a real threat. People underestimate this constantly. While there are well-marked trails, venturing off-piste requires serious skills. We're talking steep slopes, loose scree, and avalanche risks. Navigation can become extremely difficult in poor visibility. Even in summer, the UV radiation at altitude is intense. Sunburn and heat stroke can occur much faster than you might think, and the nights can still get very cold. So, layering your clothing and having appropriate gear for all conditions is absolutely critical. Chapter 5. Fraser Island Sand, Dingoes, and Serious Danger. Last on our list, but by no means least in terms of potential hazards, is Fraser Island, or K'gari as it's traditionally known. The world's largest sand island. It's stunning. Crystal clear freshwater lakes, ancient rainforests growing on sand, epic beaches that stretch for miles. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site for a reason. But, and it's a big but, this sandy paradise comes with some serious challenges and dangers that catch a lot of visitors off guard. First up, driving. Fraser Island is strictly four-wheel drive territory. And I don't just mean any four-wheel drive. You need a proper one with high clearance and low range, and you need to know how to drive it on sand. The roads are sand tracks, and conditions can change rapidly with tides and weather. Getting bogged is almost a rite of passage, but it can also be dangerous if you're in an isolated spot, or if the tide is coming in. People roll vehicles here? It happens. Then there are the beach highways, like 75 Mile Beach. Yes, it's an actual gazetted highway, but it's also a beach. That means you're contending with tides, washouts, and even planes landing and taking off. Speed limits apply, but the conditions dictate a much slower, more cautious approach. Driving too fast on soft sand or through salt water is a recipe for disaster. Chapter 6. Travel smart, stay safe, keep exploring. So, there you have it. 5 spots in Australia that, while they have their own unique allure, also pack a punch when it comes to potential challenges and dangers. This isn't about scaring you off Australia, far from it. This country is incredible, full of diverse landscapes and amazing experiences. But it's about going in with your eyes open, understanding that wild and remote often come with inherent risks. It's about respecting the environment and making informed decisions so your adventure is memorable for all the right reasons. The key takeaway here is preparation and respect. Stay safe out there, keep exploring, and I'll see you in the next one. Click on the link in the video description below. I put together a list of essential travel products over on the Travel Tids site.